2019 City Council, special City Council meeting to order, please. I'll do the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Silent roll call has been taken and a quorum is present.
Approval of the minutes. The June 3rd, 2019 regular City Council meeting and the June 17th, 2019 5 p.m. City Council meeting and the June 17th, 2019 6 p.m. Special Council meeting.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Petitions, communications, and citizens' requests. If you'd like to speak about something that's not on the agenda, this would be the time.
Yes, we have a tax issue going on.
Could you come to the microphone, please, and state your name and where you live?
Yes. Yes, it's your house.
I can't hear.
Okay, wait. She got a letter saying, my name is Gina Gross, and this is Ethelyn Gross. And,
Address, please.
I'm sorry?
Address, please.
This is the address.
My address
Yes.
is 70 Cartridge Road, Greenbush. The property we're talking about is 60 Jefferson Street, Old Town.
60 Jefferson.
Where is that, Shirley?
About 4 houses beyond me.
On the same
side? 44, going down.
On the
down
left?
Towards Perkins, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Oh, yep, it's a notice of not paying the property taxes, and she wants to take care of it, but we have a couple of issues. We had put in for a assessment to change the taxes because we demoed it and it wasn't worth nearly, we got a loan, we had somebody come assess it, and it wasn't worth nearly what they were paying in taxes. And we got it done. It took over a year to get somebody there. And then so by the time he got there, we only got 1 year back. And so it was ready to be, it should have probably taken 90 days, probably. And that's being graceful. And it took over a year. So what ended up happening is, so he wouldn't go back any further, or the law or whatever you guys have say we'll go back more than 1 year. But that, I don't feel like it was our responsibility to, even though we called and called and called, that was ours. But to take a year to get an assessment kind of was, so it made her taxes way higher than she could afford. So, and then we were fighting with it, and she didn't, and it was also being mailed to the wrong address, but I know by law you don't have to mail it. So,
2 or 3 different addresses, none of them were right.
none of them are right. She just recently got it in May, she got her first notice, actual notice for her. I don't know why it was being sent somewhere else, and I know by law, you don't have to, but she wouldn't know how much she owed until she saw it. But we were trying to fight the 1 year because it took so long to get it. It should have been 2 years. It should have been, the taxes should have been, in general. 3 years is the amount of time that it's been that she's owed this property, and that we had it demoed in 3 months. But I'm saying 6 months later, I would still be okay with it. But this was over a year, beyond a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I had it reevaluated by not the tax assessor but a loan company, I brought the evaluation here to show, that it would be less, and the assessor wasn't here, so I left a note with a copy and said, please contact me about this so we can, talk about it. And I never got a phone call, so I waited a little bit. I didn't get a call, so I called. Left a message. I never actually talked to him in person. I left messages several times. Never got a return call. And then finally, I reached the man. I don't know how that happened, but it was well over a year of calling and waiting for him to call me back, blah, blah, blah. And so when we finally did get together, he came over, he looked it out, he said, yes, we can fix that. But it'll only be for this year. I said, well, what about the year before? Well, we can't do anything about that.
And the reason why is because I came here and I said, hello, does somebody work here? Because we've been waiting a year. And I just think it's reasonable that even though I know it's used, we just want what's reasonable. And then we can pay the taxes and move forward. But we don't, but this is our first dealing with you guys, so we don't know how it works. So we're just throwing ourselves on the mercy.
You want to comment, Bill?
Well, I just heard the same thing that you just heard, so I don't really have much of a comment. I mean, there's always going to be two sides to that. I'm more than happy to go back and research that, see what it is, get in contact with you. But
Yeah, that's all we can ask. I don't
Yep.
know what else to do. But we
Did
need
you
to look
co-
at the taxes.
I'm sorry,
Go-
did you try to come here
Yeah.
to see him?
Yeah, that's finally what happened was.
Yeah, but I mean, within that year, when
Yeah, she
you're-
came in and brought the paperwork. Brought it
But
to
that,
him.
you said that was later than a year.
No, she brought,
Oh,
she
okay.
when she got this assessment, we came right in, which was
Okay.
not even a year, 6 months. So it would have been
I don't remember exactly.
it was January, February of 2017,
Okay.
and when we brought it in, and it wasn't until 2008, November of 2018 before we spoke to him. So I mean, a year and a half later, and then
No,
they
it
just
wasn't-
did.
It wasn't then, it was
Wait, it
April.
says right here.
April of 18, I think.
April. I'm sorry, you're right because I think there's a date on it. We have paperwork from it, so it was a long time though. So she said, I don't know why he's not calling me back. So I came in and spoke to him. I'm sure things happen. We're just asking for a fair assessment. And I mean, I don't know, even if you didn't do a whole year, I know it breaks into 2 halves, right?
Yeah.
Does that how it work? Oh. And
How about we do this? Between now and the next city council meeting, we turn it back to Travis and Bill, have them research it, come back to us with a recommendation of where we feel we should go from there and if you could present them with the assessment or something like that, that would kind of give a timeline of when you started the process with City Hall and maybe we could go from there.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think what you're asking is out of the question, but we kind of need to verify that a little bit.
And that's all we could do is just ask. Yeah, just
Yep.
ask to look at that and
Yep.
and to find out what how much we're going to need to pay so we can get this taken care of.
Yep.
I'm just.
And we can put anything on hold in the meantime while we're investigating, correct? Does that sound fair?
That sounds awesome. Thank you very much,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Anybody else?
Okay.
No, that was way easier than I thought.
Reports. I have nothing. Standing committees, finance, administrative, economic, landfill, legislative, sewer, airport, housing, city councilors. Nothing to say?
We did it.
City attorney? No. Special committee? City manager?
the only thing to add to what we talked about earlier on the mill fire, we have a state property tax review hearing on Friday on the Expira appeal.
Oh, really?
So that'll happen Friday at 9 o'clock in Augusta, so that's where Travis and I will be.
That's not to make a decision, that's just to review the facts.
Got remanded back, yep.
Consent, is that it? Consent agenda. Counselor Smart? Oh, new business items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Counselor Smart.
All right. I'm clearing my throat. Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves the consent agenda, new business items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as presented. Item 1, Old Town City Council hereby approves the annual request of the Old Town Orono Kiwanis Organization for permission to allow use of the Juniper Ridge transfer station and waiver of the tipping fees for their charitable auction on July 18th through the 20th of 2019. Item 2, the Old Town City Council hereby approves an application from Stillwater Federated Church for a minor special event permit for a food sale to be held in Coombs Park on August 10th, 2019, and waiver of the permit fee. Item 3, resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves an application from the New Life Old Town Organization for a major special event permit for the Day of Hope event to be held in Riverfront Park on August 24th, 2019, and waiver of the permit fee. Item 4, the Old Town City Council hereby accepts an after-deadline redemption of foreclosed property for Terry F. Awalt, located at 322 Stillwater Avenue, Unit 1, for payment of 2017, 2018, 2019 real estate taxes in the amount of $5,579.97, plus $64.47 lien cost and $371.93 interest for payment of 2018 and first quarter 2019 sewer fees in the amount of $464.19, plus $505.71 interest and the $150 late redemption fee, for a total amount of $6,639.27. Further authorizes the city manager to execute a municipal quitclaim deed. Item 5, resolves the Old Town City Council hereby accepts a Maine Emergency Management Agency Homeland Security grant in the amount of $9,000 for ballistic vests for the Old Town Emergency Medical Services personnel. Item 6, resolve the Old Town City Council hereby approves the victualers license application for Jason and Kylie Coleman, doing business as Jersey Subs and Sweets at 601 Stillwater Avenue, number 1. Item 7, resolve the Old Town City Council hereby approves a lunch wagon application from Monica Hirsch, doing business as Monica's Sweets and Treats. And item 8, resolve the Old Town City Council hereby approves the lunch wagon application for Joseph W. Larson, doing business as Joe's Chuck Wagon. That's it.
Nice job.
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion?
Second.
All those in favor? Under old business, Travis Roy, tax assessor, and Sarah Trafton, executive director for the Habitat for Humanity, will give an update on their efforts for the possible donation and purchase of foreclosed property located at 1064 West Old Town Road, Route 43, to add affordable housing unit in Old Town. I believe it's going to be Lynn Lufkin and not Sarah Trafton, but.
Sarah Crafton's automobile blew attention on the way up.
No, that's a bad thing.
We got another issue to deal with.
Oh, dear.
Oh, she won't be here. I kind of review a little bit of where we are. We had a double wide donated by Jay Charette. And when we investigated it, we found that it was actually constructed in 1994. And the bankers that we were dealing with would not issue a 20-year mortgage on it. It was too old. So we had to reject that piece of equipment. And Jay is fine. He sold to somebody else, so there's not a problem with him, I don't think. And at this point, we're kind of pending where we stand with this. We still would like to have the piece of property if it's still available, and our intent is to put a single-family home on it. Time frame is a little uncertain because we got such a big commitment with the condos that there's almost $250,000 investment in those condos. So we've got a little cash flow we got to make sure we handle before we really commit on building up there, but it's a nice piece of property. There's been a number of applications to go into the condos and a lot of applications from Old Town, so we're quite pleased with that. So we'd like to keep our hat in the ring for the property if it's still available.
And where we're at on the demolition of the mobile home is we have a estimate from John Rulo what it would cost just for equipment, dumpsters, and fuel removal, so to pump out like the oil tank, things like that. Not counting his labor, would be about $4,000. And we only had one respondent to the 4 requests for bids that we sent out to local contractors. Streets Landscaping has bid $3,000 to remove it all and dispose of it on our tipping credits. So, which is pretty much what we expected for a going rate based on what we've been paying to have houses taken down. So it's, staff sees that as the recommended bid. So it doesn't tie up our crew. Most of our crew's bid is the machine they'd have to rent to take it down because they found out last time that ours is not big enough to do it, so with any efficiency. So that's an option there to clear the lot, and it's up to the council. We talked last time whether, they would certainly like for us to clear the lot before they took it. Makes it easier for them to start prepping it for the build, and these are our options to clear the lot. Certainly, the council owns a piece of land, so I guess we're looking to see how you want to move forward. It's kind of a multi-part conversation.
Let's do part 1 first, demolition of the building.
Okay.
So it sounds like Streets is,
Correct. We have one by our crew,
Yep.
which comes in at $4,000 for an estimated cost, not counting labor.
right,
And we have a bid from Streets Landscaping of $3,000 to remove the home, the addition, all debris, cap water and sewer lines, and take it to Juniper Ridge on our tipping credits.
sounds like
which
that's
is
the way to
pretty
go.
standard.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
So we put that on the next time's agenda to do that, but looks like a good
It needs to go,
thing.
right?
Needs to go.
It needs to go.
Right.
Yep.
And our guys are busy as it is, so why not? It's cheaper, let Jeff do it.
Absolutely.
And it's not, I don't want to speak for Dave Russell, but it's not something that is likely going to get a certificate of occupancy for somebody to move back into. So,
Right.
I've looked at that one, I agree.
yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, so how do we feel about giving it to the Habitat for Humanity?
I'm
We
in
cleared the
favor
lot.
of it.
I can comment on that, just might help. In the past, what we've done, when there's been any concern about timeline, is we've had the attorneys writing a clause for a time period that it needs to be used in. If that makes council feel any more at ease. I'm not concerned based on their performance in the past, but I think the last time we had that done, it was 3 years.
We put that piece of property out to bid, and nobody bid on it, correct?
How large is it?
A 1.2 acres, I think.
We put it out to bid with a trailer on it, though,
With a
right?
trailer
on
it.
Yeah.
With the mobile home and garage,
We
yes.
haven't put it out to bid without.
Without it, right.
Yeah.
1.5 acres. And we put it out for just land value, and we got no bids.
But the trailer was there, though.
Correct, so you
Yeah.
actually have a
Right, so you'd
negative
have to-
value there
Right.
because of the cost to remove it,
Yeah.
which would be nearly double what we're gonna pay because of our tipping credits. So we don't have to pay for that side of it.
We'd like to keep our hand in the bid to acquire the property, if it makes sense to you guys, because we think we can put a nice house out there. It's certainly a nice area. We've been out the road and everything is, it's gonna be equal or better than the housing that's there now, and it's, the housing that's there.
Hope it's a lot better.
That was a lot
better.
Well, there's some housing that's in not good shape, as you know.
Yeah.
And some housing is in excellent shape. So I think it's gonna be a general upgrade to the community, and
Yep.
and we'd be pleased with it.
My only concern, I think I said at the last meeting when we talked about the other properties, that you guys got a lot on your plate
Yeah.
as it is. I mean, the one over by where I live, that's still got a long ways to go, the condos. So for me, as one vote to even consider it, I'd want to have something written in there as far as a time frame, something to have to be done, because I think with that trailer gone, I think you would get more bids on that, or at least get some bids with that trailer gone. So you got a lot going on, you guys, and I think we've been very good partners with you, but I'm a little nervous about the time frame here.
You'll be looking at a year from this fall, probably?
I would think so. I would say yes, but I'm a little uneasy because we're spending so much money on the condos. But we think we've got them lined up to sell, but on the other hand, it's a guess, what the economy will do. So I agree with Councilor Mahan that it's quite a challenge.
Is there anything to say that we could just put the property out to bid when the thing's gone, just to see what happens at that point.
Yeah, that's what I
Nothing
think.
would stop you from doing whatever you want to do with it.
I mean, and then, I mean, if no one
Yep.
applies for it then, or at least puts a bid in it, I know I'd feel better at that point.
Yes, I would
Yeah.
too.
Then it'd be a moot point.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, it would.
I mean, I don't
I
think,
think
It's
we
a good
should
piece
put
of
it-
land.
it
Because
is.
it's a more attractive piece of
Yeah.
land
Right.
without the
Yep.
trailer on it.
Yep.
Certainly.
I mean, could we just try that?
Yeah,
We'll go from there.
do whatever you like.
That's my 2 cents anyways.
I like
I
your
agree.
2 cents.
I agree.
too. Yep.
So I believe it's a consensus of the councils at this point in time that we would put it out to bid. If nobody bids on it, it's yours. If they do, maybe we can find you another piece.
That's fine.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have an update on the CDD landfill.
We got the funding from the state, so we've set up a meeting with CES, and DEP will be here on July 26. CES is putting together a plan right now on how they're gonna shape the CDD pile at the transfer station. And once we get the okay, from the state that they're in agreement with that plan, then we can execute it and move forward to get that shut down.
Is that plan going to include us selling the rest of the space that's in there to cover our share?
A
or
portion of it,
enough to cover our portion of
Hopefully.
the
Yeah.
cost? of-
yeah. It should be enough. That's, a lot of it's gonna depend, again, once we meet with DEP and roll that out, it's how much are they willing to let us bring in there for CDD material. I think it will be, but I won't know till we have that meeting with them on July 26th to get the okay from them.
Okay. Other questions? Number 9, the city council to consider a motion that acknowledges, approves, and ratifies any and all actions taken in the contracting for sale and conveyance of any of lots 1 through 5 as depicted on the City of Old Town Airport Business Park subdivision plan, recorded on May 13th, 2019 at the Penobscot Registry of Deeds as as Plan 2019-39. Councilor Klitsch.
The city council to consider a motion that acknowledges, approves, and ratifies any and all actions taken in contracting the sale, conveying any of the lots 1 through 5 as depicted on the City of Old Town Airport Business Park subdivision plan recorded on May 13, 2019 at the Penobscot County Records of Deeds as Plan 2009-39.
Second.
You want to explain that a little, Bill, please?
On April the 4th, 2016, the council hired Stantec, and in the same resolve said they wanted to sell the 5 lots at the business park, but the attorneys now would like to just make sure that you folks are aware that you're selling the 5 lots at the business park.
Perfect.
Was that seconded?
Yes, Donna did, yes.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? The city council will consider authorizing the city manager, William J. Mayo, to take any and all actions upon such terms and conditions he deems necessary or appropriate to conclude the sales and conveyance of any of the lots 1 through 5 at the airport business park. You want to explain that one, Mr. Mayo?
That's a follow-up to make sure I have the ability to sell them.
Councilor Brissette.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby authorizes City Manager William J. Mayo to take any and all actions upon such terms and conditions as he deems necessary or appropriate to conclude the sale and conveyancing of any lots 1 through 5 of the Airport Business Park.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? The city council will consider authorizing the replacement purchase of an existing Nerdeman rail system with STR poly-movement source capture energy vehicle exhaust fume removal system for the fire department in the amount of $66,930. Councilor Ketchum.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby authorizes the replacement purchase of the existing Nederman rail system with STR Plymovent source capture emergency vehicle exhaust fume removal system for the fire department in the amount of $66,930. Funds to be expended from account 01-120-60-6420 and authorizes the transfer of funds from the city facility and infrastructure reserve account 09-529-65-7200 to account 01-045-4853 to offset the cost. A second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? Councilor Smart.
It looks like in our packet, we've got 3 different estimates now on this, or?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess that'd be my question. That's the highest of the 3, so.
No monies from the insurance company?
Bummer.
That's too bad.
What do you got, Chief?
So I was asked to get 3 quotes. Those are the 3 manufacturers that design these systems. The Plymovent Nederman, the Nederman rail system is the system that we have now with Plymovent drops. Plymovent is what's being used in Bangor Fire, Brewer Fire, Orono Fire, and if accepted here, would be used in Old Town Fire, which kind of puts us on the map for servicing and contracts. This system is a pneumatic system. I'll stay with Plymovent for a minute. It's a pneumatic system. There's no more couplings that you have to weld onto those exhaust pipes. This goes right over the exhaust pipe, and it's an air vacuum system. You just push a button and it automatically comes into play. The Ward system is a system that you actually cut into the exhaust of the vehicles and add this box-type system into it. I don't know how well that would go with a brand-new fire engine, if that's something we want to cut into, and kind of the thought behind Ward, why I wouldn't want to go with it would be if it was such a great system, why are the people that are building fire trucks not putting them on them now? MagniGrip it's a similar system to what the Plymovent is. Has a rail system, trolleys drop down. They still use a magnetic connection, so you're welding that ring back onto the exhaust system of these vehicles. What we're finding is with main weathers, with rust, that the magnet isn't sticking to that, and we're replacing those couplings that are welded onto the exhaust system. So that's why we asked to go with Plymovent.
Good. Thank you.
Sure.
That's
Any further discussion? All those in favor? The city council will consider approving the amended fiscal year 2019-2020 municipal, county, and school budget. The amended budget calls for the city expenditures of $11,150,612, Penobscot County taxes of $657,253, and RSU expenditures of $5,401,782, for a city total county and RSU 34 budget of $17,209,647, with a total city revenue and reserve transfers of $7,345,626, for a net property tax requirement of $9,864.21. Councilor Mahan.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves the amended appropriation resolution 2019-1 of the FY 2019-2020 municipal, county, and school budget. The budget calls for city expenses of $11,150,612, Penobscot County taxes of $657,253, and RSU number 34 expenditures of $5,401,782, for a total city, county, and RSU 34 budget of $17,209,647, with total city revenue and reserve transfers of $7,345,626, for a net property tax requirement of $9,864,021.
Second.
Been moved and seconded.
Who seconded
Seconded.
it? Who was it? Kyle?
Sorry.
Discussion? Councilman Hand.
Yeah, just real quick, for the meeting, I met with Bill and Stan for a few minutes. As we know, we're at a 0.9% increase. And when we started this process, when we had the Finance Committee meeting, and Councilor Smart had said a 0%, and I think you ended up at 2%, and I mentioned 3%, knowing that we still had the municipal tax revenue sharing monies coming in and some new revenues that would take us down pretty much to zero. That's what I was hoping. I think we would have been there, but we're adding that new position. We settled on the contracts, which are very well deserved for police and fire. But I think we have the opportunity now, still with a little bit of revenue maybe coming in, once it's all said in the next couple of days, I think when you and Travis. So it's about it's $85,000. So I think with some new revenues coming in, they'll find some. And I think we could amend this motion to lower the expenditures of $85,000, which would change that amount to $11,065,612, and that would put us at a 0% tax increase for the taxpayers this year. And everybody gets what we promised them. We still get the position, the contracts, everything else we approved in the budget, but this would give us an opportunity to lower this down to 0% this year. That's just my 2 cents. If you guys are on board, someone just has to amend that motion.
You presented the amendment. We need a second, and then we need to vote on the
Yes,
amendment.
yes.
Second.
Okay, so
Been
Shirley.
moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Shirley.
All in favor of the amendment? Any discussion on the original motion? All in favor of that?
Thank you very much, everybody.
I would
Good job.
entertain the motion.
So I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So that's Jan.
Yes?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor?